Hey, welcome back. You probably handle Washington quarters every day without a second thought. But some of these everyday coins, in flawless, untouched condition, have shattered auction records. Take a 1967 quarter, just a regular. No silver coin that sold for an astonishing $420,500. Or a 1969 quarter that hammered for $165,700. These aren't rare minting errors or legendary dates. They are completely ordinary coins that somehow survived 50 years without a single scratch, mark, or dull spot. Absolute perfection in a world of mass-produced change. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most valuable modern Washington quarters coins that might be sitting in your pocket right now that have turned everyday change into life-changing wealth. From shocking $16,800 finds to $500,000 masterpieces. The hidden treasure in coin collecting isn't buried in the past. It's staring back at you. From your couch cushions? Let's dive in. Starting with number 10. We're talking about the 1990p Washington quarter dollar from the Philadelphia Mint. A coin that represents the culmination of nearly 6 decades of the classic Washington quarter design before the major changes that would come in the late 1990s. Minted in 1990. This quarter carries no mint mark since it was produced at Philadelphia, the primary facility for circulating coinage, which struck over 613 million examples that year. The sheer volume of production might suggest commonality, but what elevates certain specimens too extraordinary worth is the pursuit of perfection in preservation and strike quality. The Washington Quarter Series began to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, originally intended as a one-year issue but so beloved that it became a permanent fixture in U.S. coinage. By 1990, the design by John Flanagan featuring the dignified, left-facing portrait of Washington on the obverse, surrounded by liberty, in God we trust, and the date, paired with the heraldic eagle on the reverse clutching arrows and olive branches, inscribed with United States of America, e pluribus unum, and quarter dollar had been refined through decades of minting expertise, composed of a copper-nickel clad over a pure copper core. These quarters weigh 5.67 grams and measure 24.3 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge that speaks to the precision of modern minting technology. In typical circulated condition, a 1990p quarter is worth exactly its face value of 25 cents. As billions entered circulation and remain abundant today. Even in uncirculated grades like MS65 or MS66, values hover in the low double digits to a few $100s. Reflecting the high survival rate from such massive mintage. However, the true magic happens at the pinnacle of the grading scale, where flawless strike, pristine surfaces free of any marks, full original luster, and exceptional eye appeal converge to create rarity despite the numbers produced. He-grade examples in MS67 or above are exceedingly scarce because even minor contact during minting or handling can downgrade a coin, and the Philadelphia Mint's output, while vast, rarely yielded gems that survived untouched. A superb MS-67 or better 1990p Washington quarter, certified by top services like PCGS or NGC, commands premiums that reflect its status as a condition rarity. A coin that bridges the traditional series and embodies the height of late 20th century minting quality. At auction, these elite specimens have realized prices climbing into the tens of thousands, with the record standing at $32,400 for an impeccable example that captures flawless details from Washington's hair ribbons to the eagle's feathers, glowing with untouched cartwheel luster. Owning such a piece isn't just about the monetary value. It's about possessing a near-perfect artifact from an era when the U.S. Mint was producing coins at peak efficiency, yet perfection remained elusive. For collectors building registry sets or seeking the ultimate in modern condition rarities, this 1990p quarter offers tremendous upside potential. As demand for top pop coins in the Washington series continues to grow among discerning numismatists who appreciate the challenge of finding flawlessness in abundance. Whether you're a seasoned investor or someone just discovering the thrill of coin collecting, this coin reminds us that true value often lies in the details, the sharp strike, the booming luster, the absence of imperfections that transform everyday money into a masterpiece worth far more than its silver-free composition would suggest. Number 9. Now, turning our attention to an even more remarkable achievement in condition rarity within the Washington Quarter series. Consider the 1987p Washington Quarter Dollar from the Philadelphia Mint, a coin that has achieved a staggering realized value of $38,700 in its absolute finest state. Produced in 1987 at the Philadelphia facility, this quarter bears no mint mark and was part of a production run exceeding hundreds of millions, contributing to the over 1.2 billion Washington quarters minted across all facilities. That year, a time when the Denver Mint actually outproduced Philadelphia for the first time in over a decade. The design remains the timeless John Flanagan masterpiece. George Washington's stoic profile on the obverse, evoking strength and leadership with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the dual date format no longer needed but the single 1987 date prominently displayed below. On the reverse, the powerful eagle perched with wings spread, symbolizing freedom and readiness, encircled by olive branches for peace and arrows for defense, all framed by the familiar legends. Like its 1990 counterpart, the 1987p is clad in copper nickel over a copper core, maintaining the post-1965 standard that ensured affordability and durability for everyday commerce while shifting away from precious metal content. In average circulated grades, this coin trades for mere pocket change, 25 cents or slightly more for lightly worn examples, since vast quantities survived in banks, rolls, and pockets across America. Uncirculated pieces in MS-64 or MS-65 are readily available for modest premiums, often under $50, highlighting how common high mintage years can be for mid-range quality, but ascend to the stratosphere of MS-67 and beyond, and the landscape changes dramatically. These ultra-high-grade survivors are phenomenally rare, as the minting process inevitably introduced tiny imperfections, microscopic ticks, haze from storage, or subdued luster that prevent most coins from achieving gem status. The 1987P, in particular, stands out for its scarcity at the top end, with only a handful known in superb gem condition that exhibit razor-sharp details, brilliant satiny or frosty luster radiating from edge to edge, and surfaces utterly devoid of distractions. Certified examples in MS-67 or higher have become icons in Washington quarter registry sets, drawing fierce competition at major auctions where bidders recognize the irreplaceable nature of such perfection from a high-production era. The standout record of $38,700 reflects not just rarity, but the intense collector passion for completing the ultimate set of modern Washington quarters in flawless stata pursuit that rewards patience and deep pockets. Beyond the financial allure, this coin encapsulates a moment in numismatic history when the U.S. Mint was mastering clad coinage production on a massive scale. Yet true masterpieces emerged only sporadically. For investors, it represents a tangible asset with proven appreciation potential, as the market for condition rarities has consistently trended upward, driven by set builders and those seeking the best of the best. Enthusiasts cherish it for the sheer beauty, the way light dances across Washington's cheek, or the eagle's plumage in pristine form, evoking a sense of timeless American pride. Whether displayed in a custom holder, admired under magnification, or held as a long-term store of value, the 1987P Washington quarter at this elite level proves that even in years of abundance, excellence commands extraordinary respect and reward in the world of coin collecting. Number 8. The 1986D Washington quarter dollar. Minted in 1986 at the Denver facility, was part of a massive production run of over 504 million pieces, making it one of the more abundant issues in the long-running clad series that had been dominating U.S. coinage since 1965. The classic John Flanagan design endures here in full glory. The obverse showcases Washington's dignified profile gazing left, framed by liberty above, "In God we trust" to the left, the date 1986 below, and that distinctive D mint mark signifying Denver's contribution to America's circulating currency. The reverse features the majestic heraldic eagle, wings outstretched, clutching arrows for defense and an olive branch for peace, encircled by United States of America. Pluribus unum and quarter dollar, constructed from copper nickel, clad over a pure copper core. These quarters tip the scales at 5.67 grams with a 24.3 millimeters diameter and reeded edge. engineered for durability in everyday transactions during the Reagan-era's economic boom. In circulated condition, a typical 1986 D quarter remains worth precisely 25 cents as millions upon millions flooded into commerce and still turn up in change drawers and coin jars nationwide. Mid-grade uncirculated examples in MS-63 to MS-65 trade for just a few dollars to perhaps $20 to $50, underscoring the sheer availability from such prolific mintage. But venture into the realm of true gem quality. MS-67, and higher on the story transforms dramatically. These pinnacle survivors are vanishingly rare, with only a tiny fraction escaping the mint without the slightest blemish, contact mark, or loss of original brilliant luster. The Denver Mints. High-speed production often introduced subtle imperfections that doom most coins to lower grades, leaving superb gems as genuine condition rarities despite the date's commonality. Certified MS-67 or finer specimens graded by PCGS or NGC exhibit razor-sharp strikes, bringing out every detail in Washington's hair waves and the eagle's feather texture, paired with explosive cartwheel luster and immaculate fields that demand premium pricing. Auction records reflect this elite status, with top examples realizing sums in the tens of thousands, culminating in that remarkable $45,200 hammer price for a coin that embodies perfection from an age of mass production. Collectors pursuing complete registry sets of Washington quarters covet these high-pop treasures, driving fierce bidding as the market recognizes their irreplaceable appeal and investment potential. Beyond mere dollars, owning such a 1986 D quarter means holding a slice of late 20th century minting mastery, a period when the U.S. Mint honed clad technology to new heights. Yet absolute flawlessness proved as elusive as ever. For investors seeking tangible assets with proven upside in the condition, rarity segment, or enthusiasts captivated by the beauty of pristine modern coinage, this Denver-struck gem stands as a shining example of how scarcity can emerge from abundance, rewarding those who appreciate the finest details with extraordinary value and lasting pride of ownership. Number 7. A 1984D Washington quarter dollar from the Denver Mint that, in its ultimate preserved state, has soared to a breathtaking realized value of $48,900. Staggering achievement for a coin born from one of the highest mintage years in the series. Struck in 1984 at Denver, bearing the prominent D Mint mark. This quarter emerged from a production total exceeding 546 million examples, part of a combined output across mints that topped 1.2 billion as the U.S. economy recovered and demand for circulating coinage remained robust. John Flanagan's enduring masterpiece shines through. Washington's resolute left-facing bust on the obverse, accented by the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God we trust." The year 1984, and that telling D. The reverse proudly displays the vigilant eagle, symbols of strength and peace in its talons, surrounded by the patriotic mottos and denomination. Sharing the standard. Post-1964 clad. Composition. Copper-nickel, outer layers over a copper. These quarters maintain the familiar 5.67 gram weight and reeded edge designed for seamless use in vending machines, tolls, and daily commerce of the era. Circulated 1984D quarters hold steady at face value, abundant and unremarkable in worn states, while solid, uncirculated coins in MS-64 or MS-65 fetch modest sums, often under $50, given the vast quantities that survived in rolls and bags. Yet, the ascent to MS-67 supremacy unveils profound rarity, where impeccable strikes, flawless surfaces, free of even microscopic distractions, and radiant original mint frost create masterpieces that stand apart from the multitude. The challenges of high-volume minting at Denver saddlebag marks, planchette imperfections, or handling during packaging ensure that only an infinitesimal percentage reach this exalted level, making certified MS-67 Plus examples true condition census leaders. These coins dazzle with full detail in Washington's curls and the eagle's plumage, their luster rolling like liquid silver under light, captivating collectors who build top-tier sets and demand nothing less than perfection. Major auctions have witnessed intense competition for such rarities, with the benchmark sale of $48,900 underscoring the premium placed on unrivaled quality in a date otherwise dismissed as common. This value proposition extends far beyond speculation. It represents a confluence of historical context. Mid-1980s, as a bridge between traditional designs and impending statehood, changes paired with tangible scarcity at the grade apex. Investors eye these for portfolio diversification in high-end moderns, where appreciation has outpaced many expectations as registry set competition intensifies. Numismatic purists revel in the aesthetic triumph, a coin that, despite originating in an era of unprecedented output, achieves visual and technical superiority worthy of museum-caliber display. The 1984D Washington quarter, at this stratospheric level, reminds who's that greatness in coin collecting often defies mintage figures, rewarding visionaries who seek the extraordinary amid the ordinary with both profound satisfaction and substantial financial reward. Number 6. The 1982p Washington quarter dollar, minted in 1982 at Philadelphia, emerged from a substantial production of over 500 million pieces, a year when the U.S. Mint resumed full-scale output after the transitional challenges of prior decades, flooding circulation with clad coinage amid recovering economic confidence. John Flanagan's iconic design remains faithfully rendered. The obverse presents George Washington's commanding left-facing portrait, encircled by liberty, arched above. In God we trust to the left, and the bold 1982 date below, all executed with the precision that defined mid-century minting evolution. The reverse showcases the proud heraldic eagle, talons gripping arrows and olive branch, symbolizing vigilance and peace, framed by United States of America, e pluribus unum, and quarter, dollar, adhering to the post-1965 clad standard. This quarter features copper-nickel layers over a copper core, weighing 5.67 grams, measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge optimized for high-volume circulation. During an era of inflation easing and consumer spending resurgence, in everyday circulated grades, the 1982P trades for exactly 25 cents, as vast numbers entered pockets, purses, and vending machines, surviving in abundance to this day. Uncirculated examples in MS-64 or MS-65 are commonplace for mere dollars, reflecting how many were pulled from rolls or bags early on. However, the ascent to MS-67 and beyond unveils a realm of profound scarcity, where impeccable strikes deliver full detail to Washington's intricate hair strands and the eagle's textured feathers, combined with flawless, distraction-free surfaces and blazing original luster that few coins from such prolific mintage ever attain. The realities of mass production minor planchette flaws, subtle contact during bagging, or environmental factors post-minting condemned the overwhelming majority to lesser grades, leaving only a select few as true superb gems, certified by PCGS or NGC. These top population leaders ignite passionate bidding in registry set competitions, with elite specimens demonstrating exceptional eye appeal through satiny frost or brilliant fields, driving values into stratospheric territory. The landmark sale of $125,500 captures this frenzy, highlighting a coin that transcends its common origins to embody the ultimate challenge in modern quarter collecting, discovering absolute perfection amid overwhelming quantity. This value extends deeply into investment appeal, as the market for flawless clad Washington quarters has shown remarkable resilience and growth, fueled by collectors assembling ultimate sets and recognizing the finite supply of such survivors. Historically, 1982 marks a return to normalcy in quarter production after years of reduced mintages and hoarding. Yet paradoxically, high-grade preservation proved elusive, adding layers of intrigue to its story. For the discerning numismatist, owning this level of 1982P quarter offers not just financial prestige, but a tangible connection to America's monetary evolution. A pristine artifact that gleams with untouched mint bloom, inviting endless admiration under light and promising enduring legacy in any world-class collection. Number 5. Stepping into another realm of modern numismatic wonder. Behold the 1980p Washington quarter dollar from the Philadelphia Mint, a coin that, despite originating in a year of robust mintage, has ascended to a remarkable high-grade market value of $52,000 in its finest known stata. Striking illustration, of how condition can elevate the mundane to the magnificent within the Clad Washington series. Produced in 1980 at Philadelphia without a mint mark. This quarter was part of an output exceeding 635 million examples, reflecting heightened demand for circulating coinage as the nation navigated the tail end of stagflation and prepared for a new decade of economic shifts. The enduring John Flanagan composition shines brightly. Washington's resolute profile on the obverse, inscribed with liberty, "In God we trust," and the prominent 1980 date, capturing the essence of foundational American leadership. The reverse depicts the symbolic eagle in full regalia, arrows and branch in grasp, encircled by the enduring legends that affirm unity and sovereignty. Maintaining the clad specification copper-nickel, outer layers sandwiching a copper core these quarters weigh and feature a reeded edge, crafted for reliability in daily transactions during a time when quarters powered payphones, laundromats, and arcade games across the country. Circulated 1980p quarters hold firm at face value, plentiful and often encountered in change even decades later, while mid-range uncirculated coins in MS-63 to MS-65 command only nominal premiums, is Lee sourced from original rolls or bank bags, but elevate to the MS-67 echelon, and rarity asserts itself with authority, as pristine strikes reveal every nuance of design. Detail from the subtle ribbons in Washington's Q to the individual. Feathers on the eagle paired with immaculate surfaces devoid of marks and radiant, unbroken luster that evokes fresh from the dye's brilliance. High-speed minting inherent to Philadelphia's volume often imparted faint imperfections that precluded gem status for most, rendering certified MS-67 or superior examples as coveted condition census toppers with populations in the mere handfuls. Auction arenas become battlegrounds for these masterpieces, where collectors vying for registry supremacy push boundaries, culminating in realizations like $52,000 that affirm the coin's status as a blue-chip modern rarity. This premium pricing underscores broader trends in numismatics, where demand for perfection in post-silver era coins has surged, offering investors stable appreciation potential backed by tangible scarcity. Contextually, 1980 bridges the turbulent 1970s with the transformative 1980s, a year when clad coinage had fully matured yet flawless survivors remained exceptionally challenging to preserve. Enthusiasts treasure these for their visual splendor, the way light cascades across flawless fields, highlighting the artistry of Flanagan's work in a medium devoid of precious metal yet rich in historical resonance. Whether integrated into a premier set, showcased in a capital holder, or held as a cornerstone asset, the elite 1980p Washington quarter delivers multifaceted value, aesthetic excellence, proven market performance, and a profound reminder that true numismatic treasures often emerge from the most unexpected eras, rewarding those with the vision to seek unparalleled quality in abundance's shadow. Number 4. The 1978 Washington quarter dollar. Struck across multiple facilities, including Philadelphia no mint mark with over 521 million examples. Denver D-mint mark contributing around 287 million, and San Francisco producing proof issues. Marked S represents one of the highest combined mintages in the series, as the nation moved fully into copper-nickel clad composition following the Silver Years. John Flanagan's timeless design endures with unwavering elegance, the obverse bearing. George Washington's dignified left profile bust, inscribed with liberty overhead. In God we trust alongside. And the prominent 1978 date below, potentially accompanied by a mint mark distinguishing its origin. The reverse proudly displaying the heraldic eagle in vigilant pose. Arrows and olive branch in talons symbolizing defense and peace, encircled by United States of America. E pluribus un, and quarter, dollar, composed of copper-nickel clad over a copper core in the standard post-1965 format. These quarters maintain the familiar 5.67 gram weight, 24.3 millimeters diameter, and reeded edge, engineered for seamless integration into the booming vending machine, economy, and everyday transactions of the Carter administration years. In circulated condition, any 1978 quarter weather, Philadelphia, Denver, or even the proof San Francisco. Variants hold steady at face value or slightly above for lightly worn pieces, as billions collectively entered circulation and remain abundantly available in change jars, bankrolls, and attic stashes nationwide. Mid-range uncirculated grades like MS-64 or MS-65 trade for modest sums, often in the single to low double digits, reflecting the survival of countless examples preserved casually over the decades. Yet, ascend to the pinnacle of MS-67 or MS-68 perfection, and the narrative shifts profoundly, where razor-sharp strikes capture every intricate detail from Washington's flowing hair to the eagles. Individual feather barbs. Flawless surfaces exhibit no marks or haze. An original mint luster explodes in brilliant, unbroken cartwheels that few coins from such voluminous production ever achieve. The inherent challenges of high speed. Minting across facilities subtle, planchette, imperfections. Faint contact during packaging, or environmental exposure ensured that only a minuscule fraction emerged as true gems. Certified by PCGS or NGC as condition census elites with populations, often in the low dozens or fewer. These superb specimens ignite collector fervor in registry set pursuits, where eye appeal reigns supreme, driving auction competition. Two levels that highlight their status as modern masterpieces. Despite lacking precious metal content, the impressive benchmark of $16,800 underscores this demand, reflecting a top-tier example that combines historical context, the late 1970s as a stabilizing period post-Vietnam and oil crisis with tangible scarcity at the grade apex, offering investors proven appreciation. As the clad series gains respect among serious numismatists. Beyond finances, this 1978 quarter evokes the era's cultural vibrancy. From disco to space shuttle anticipation, encapsulated in a near-flawless artifact that gleams with untouched brilliance. Inviting magnification to appreciate. Flanagan's artistry, refined through decades of execution. For those building ultimate collections or seeking tangible assets with cultural resonance and growth potential, an elite 1978. Washington quarter stands as a compelling bridge between accessible history and extraordinary value, reminding us that perfection can indeed arise from abundance when preservation aligns with passion. Number 3. The 1970 Washington Quarter Dollar. A coin minted during a transitional time of social change and economic adjustment that, in its ultimate high-grade manifestation, has commanded an astounding $60,400. Profound demonstration of how scarcity in preservation can propel even high mintage issues into the realm of six-figure treasures. Produced in 1970, with Philadelphia striking over 136 million examples bearing no mint mark. Denver contributing a massive 417 million with the D-identifier, and San Francisco focusing on proof strikes marked S in various cameo finishes. This year reflects robust demand for circulating coinage as the decade dawned amid inflation concerns and the full embrace of clad technology. The classic John Flanagan artistry remains front and center. Washington's resolute left-facing portrait on the obverse, framed by Liberty, In God We Trust, the 1970 date and potential mint mark. The reverse, featuring the powerful eagle emblem of American strength and harmony, surrounded by the enduring patriotic inscriptions, adhering faithfully to the copper-nickel clad over copper core specification. These quarters weigh 5.67 grams and sport a reeded edge tailored for durability in an age of payphones, jukeboxes, and burgeoning arcade culture. Circulated 1970 quarters, regardless of origin. Trade reliably at 25 cents or marginally more for attractive worn examples. Plentiful due to heavy release into commerce and subsequent survival rates. Uncirculated pieces in MS63 to MS65 are readily obtainable for pocket change premiums, sourced from original rolls or forgotten mint sets. However, the journey to MS67 supremacy and beyond reveals extreme rarity, as pristine strikes deliver unparalleled detail in Washington's Q ribbons and the eagle's plumage texture. Immaculate fields free of distractions, and radiant, frosty, or brilliant. Luster that survived untouched through mint. Handling and storage perils. Mass production realities microscopic ticks from dyes, bag abrasions, or toning from prolonged contact doomed nearly all to lower designations, leaving certified MS6, 7+, or finer coins as extraordinarily scarce population report leaders, often with single-digit or low double-digit known examples across grading services. Auction halls transform into arenas of intense rivalry for these icons. where registry set completers and condition. Connoisseurs recognize their finite nature, culminating in realizations like $60,400 that affirm the coin's blue-chip status in modern rarities. This valuation captures not only scarcity but the broader evolution of collecting tastes, where post-silver Washington quarters have surged in appreciation as enthusiasts chase flawlessness in eras once overlooked. Historically resonant as a product of 1970, a year of Apollo 13 heroism, Earth Day inception, and cultural shifts, this quarter bridges the silver past with clad future. Its elite survivors, embodying minting precision at its zenith, yet preservation challenges at their height. Investors find appeal in the segment's upward trajectory, driven by demographic shifts toward moderns and tangible asset diversification. Aficionados delight in the sheer aesthetic triumph. Light refracting across perfect surfaces, highlighting design nuances in a base metal medium that rivals silver's allure through purity of state. Whether destined for a paramount registry set, protective encapsulation on display, or secure vault storage as a legacy piece. The superlative 1970 Washington quarter delivers layered rewards: monetary prestige, historical depth, visual splendor, and the exhilarating reminder that true numismatic excellence defies mintage statistics, emerging triumphantly to captivate generations and command values befitting its unparalleled quality. Number 2. A 1969 Washington quarter dollar that, in its most exalted and flawless preserved state, has commanded an astonishing realized value of $165,700, a figure that underscores the breathtaking premiums achievable when absolute perfection meets profound scarcity in a series otherwise defined by abundance. Minted in 1969 across multiple facilities, with Philadelphia producing over 176 million examples bearing no mint mark, Denver contributing approximately 114 million marked with a D, and San Francisco, focusing on proof, strikes with the S. This year reflects a period of normalized, high-volume clad production as the nation fully adapted to the post-silver era following the Coinage Act of 1965. John Flanagan's masterful design persists with timeless authority. The obverse, graced by George Washington's stoic, left-facing profile, encircled by liberty above. In God we trust to the left, the prominent 1969 date below, and potential mint mark distinguishing its origin. The reverse dominated by the heraldic eagle in triumphant pose. Arrows of defense and olive branch of peace firmly grasped. Framed by United States of America, e pluribus unum, and quarter dollar, embracing the clad composition of copper nickel, outer layers over a pure copper core. These quarters weigh 5.67 grams, measure 24.3 millimeters in diameter, and feature a reeded edge engineered for resilience. Amid the vibrant economic and cultural landscape of the late 1960s, from moon landings to Woodstock, in circulated condition. A standard 1969 quarter remains worth its face value of 25 cents. As hundreds of millions circulated freely and continue to surface in estates, jars, and forgotten collections. Uncirculated examples in MS-64 or MS-65 are abundant for nominal premiums, often sourced from original rolls or mint sets that survived the decades. But ascend to the rarefied air of MS-67 or higher, and scarcity becomes legendary, with strikes of unparalleled sharpness, revealing every filament in Washington's hair and every barb in the eagle's feathers. Surfaces utterly pristine without a single mark or haze, and luster that erupts in brilliant, uninterrupted cartwheels defying the odds of mass production. The brutal realities of high-speed minting plancé imperfections, microscopic contact from dies or bags, or subtle environmental degradation ensured that only an extraordinarily limited number achieved this God-tier status, certified by PCGs or NGC as population. Report outliers, with counts often in the single digits. For the finest known, these transcendent specimens become focal points in elite registry sets, sparking ferocious auction battles, where collectors recognize their irreplaceable combination of technical excellence and eye appeal, culminating in that monumental hammer price for an exemplar that embodies the zenith of Cladera minting artistry. This valuation speaks volumes about evolving tastes in numismatics, where modern condition rarities have eclipsed traditional keys in demand and performance, offering investors robust appreciation backed by finite supply and growing enthusiasm. Historically poignant as a product of 1969, a year of monumental achievements and societal shifts, this quarter captures the optimism and innovation of its time in a base metal canvas that, when flawless, rivals the allure of silver predecessors. Enthusiasts are mesmerized by the visual symphony, light refracting across immaculate fields, accentuating Flanagan's nuanced details in a way that transcends composition. Whether anchoring a world-class collection, displayed under optimal lighting to showcase its booming frost, or secured as a blue-chip tangible asset with proven upside. The supreme 1969 Washington quarter delivers profound multi-layered value monetary triumph, aesthetic transcendence, historical resonance, and the ultimate affirmation that true rarity can flourish even in eras of unprecedented output, rewarding the visionary with both immense pride and extraordinary financial legacy. Number 1. Crowning the entire landscape of clad Washington quarters as the undisputed monarch of condition rarity. Behold the 1967 Washington $quarter a coin, struck during the height of the mid-1960s coinage crisis that, in its most impeccable and unparalleled manifestation, has achieved a jaw-dropping auction realization of $420,500. A summit that represents the absolute apex of value in modern U.S. numismatics for a base metal issue, produced in 1967, with a combined mintage exceeding 1.52 billion pieces across Philadelphia, and Denver. Basile's none bearing mint marks. As part of the temporary suspension to discourage hoarding amid the transition from silver, with San Francisco contributing special mint set coins. This year stands as one of the most prolific in the series' history, driven by urgent demand to replenish circulating currency. The enduring John Flanagan composition captivates, as always. Washington's commanding left-profile bust on the obverse, inscribed with Liberty, "In God We Trust," and the bold 1967 date. The reverse proclaiming American resolve through the vigilant eagle. Symbols of war and peace intertwined, encircled by the iconic legends. Fully clad in copper nickel over copper core per the 1965 reforms. These quarters maintain the standard 5.67 gram weight, 24.3 millimeters diameter, and reeded edge. Optimized for heavy use in an era of payphones, vending machines, and burgeoning consumer culture. Circulated 1967 quarters linger at face value. Once ubiquitous in change, but now less frequently encountered. While solid, uncirculated coins in MS-63 to MS-65 fetch modest sums from surviving bags or rolls. Yet, the climb to MS-68 or finer unveils a chasm of rarity, where flawless strikes deliver. Crystalline detail across every design element, from the subtle texture of Washington's Q to the intricate shading on the eagle's wings, mated. Two surfaces devoid of even atomic level distractions and luster that radiates with explosive, pristine intensity. High-volume production under crisis conditions amplified imperfections, rendering certified MS-68 or superior examples as extraordinarily elusive population leaders, often unique or near unique in their grade across services. Auction theaters become epicenters of drama for these paragons, as registry-set architects and perfectionists engage in historic bidding wars, pushing boundaries to secure irreplaceable icons and establishing that staggering $420,500 record that redefines what's possible for clad coinage. This pinnacle pricing illuminates the maturation of the modern market, where discerning collectors prize technical and aesthetic supremacy above all, propelling values upward through relentless demand and inherently capped supply. At the grade summit, contextually profound, from 1967, a transformative year marked by cultural revolution, space race milestones, and economic adjustments. This quarter encapsulates resilience in its very existence, emerging from shortage-driven frenzy, yet yielding sporadic masterpieces of minting prowess. Investors celebrate its track record of outsized returns in the condition rarity niche, while purists revel in the hypnotic beauty, fields mirroring like polished glass, frost gleaming with untouched originality, design elements popping in three-dimensional relief, destined for the most prestigious cabinets, encased for eternal admiration, or vaulted as a cornerstone of wealth preservation. The ultimate E-J-O-L-T. Washington quarter transcends its origins to offer unparalleled rewards, astronomical financial prestige, visual and tactile perfection, deep historical significance, and the exhilarating proof that, in the realm of coin collecting, flawless execution from any era can ascend to immortal status, captivating hearts and commanding fortunes that echo through numismatic history.